Hi, my name is Tim Sanderson. I'm the General Manager of Lethbridge Transit, and I'm pleased and excited to welcome you to our presentation on CityLINK, which is our rethinking of transit in Lethbridge, and we are proposing that this system is going to start in September of this year. So thank you. Sit back for the next 20 minutes or so and enjoy the presentation. The City of Lethbridge acknowledges that we are gathered on the lands of the Blackfoot people of the Canadian Plains and pays respects to the Blackfoot people's past, present, and future, while recognizing and respecting their cultural heritage, beliefs, and relationships to the land. The City of Lethbridge is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. So, to start off with our presentation and how we got here, in September of 2020, Lethbridge City Council authorized Lethbridge Transit to develop the CityLINK demand response pilot project with those two pieces, fixed route and demand response. Basically, they directed us to restructure our fixed route system to increase efficiency and effectiveness and to take a complementary demand response system that works hand in hand with the fixed route system in order to serve areas that have low demand. Our projected annual savings for this project was $350,000 a year. Okay, a little bit of background on this project. We drove most of the data from our Lethbridge Transit Master Plan, which was completed in 2017 by Stantec. It was a very robust plan, had a robust engagement process where we heard voices from the community and stakeholders. Their final product came up with comprehensive recommendations that could cost up to $20 million per year. That being said, we took a lot of the key components and data from the plan in order to come up with something that hit the high points of the plan, but did not cost an additional $20 million per year. So with that, we had a number of objectives that we wanted to do in order to implement this system. The first one was to provide the highest level of transit service to the greatest number of people within our approved budget, really to make our dollars go as far as possible for our customers and the citizens of Lethbridge. We wanted to ensure that the impact to our existing customers was mitigated so that there was as little impact as possible to those of us that already use the transit system. And then we want to create a system that also enhanced mobility for everybody in the community as well. A few numbers to talk about when saying what our expectation gap is for transit. First of all, a recent study showed that 84% of Lethbridge people in Lethbridge feel that transit is important or very important. 78% are satisfied with Lethbridge Transit, and you take those two numbers and it indicates that 6% of Lethbridge people in Lethbridge feel that Lethbridge Transit is important, but they aren't satisfied with the services that we provide. So what we wanted to do was target that 6% in order to get as many of them on the bus as possible. 3% currently use the transit in Lethbridge regularly, which means that 3,800 citizens potentially would want to use Lethbridge Transit if it worked for them. And we're hoping that with this CityLINK system, we're reaching some of those. Okay, so with that, welcome to the CityLINK network. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our proposal. There's three key components of CityLINK. The first is high-frequency lines, the second is neighborhood lines, and the third is demand response zones. All of these three key components interact with each other and they present layers of the CityLINK system. The first thing we would like to introduce you to is the rapid corridor service. We have two of those corridors, the downtown 1010 corridor service, which operates between downtown and the University of Lethbridge. That 10-minute trip will operate every 10 minutes during the day. So again, that is going to be more than competitive with your personal automobile if you're making that trip. The second rapid corridor is the 515 corridor, and that goes from Varsity Village to the University of Lethbridge. So that 5-minute trip operates every 15 minutes during the day to get students, faculty, and staff to the university. What makes those rapid corridors possible is our network of high-frequency lines. As this map shows, we have 4 of those lines, gold, blue, green, and red, and the next few slides are going to deal with each of those lines individually. The first of these is the gold line. The gold line operates from the university on the west side all the way over to Walmart in the northeast part of Lethbridge, and all places in between, including the downtown park and ride. This is a quick, rapid connection from the entirety of North Lethbridge to the university, or to downtown and the university onward. The second of these lines is the Blue Line. This partners with the Gold Line to provide service from downtown to the university. Where they deviate is this one services South Lethbridge, including the hospital and the Mayor Magrath commercial area of Superstore, Walmart, and those areas in the south, including the college as well. The third of these lines is the Green Line. The Green Line connects the Blue and the Gold Line down the Mayor Magrath corridor, so it connects the Walmart in the northeast part of the city with the Mayor Magrath commercial shopping district in the south part of the city as well. Fourth of these lines is the Red Line. This one operates from the ATB Centre onto Exhibition Park, the casino, and all points Henderson Lake, all points in between there as well through downtown. Okay, so complementing the high frequency lines are neighborhood lines. Again, these don't run as frequently as those other lines, but they are nonetheless very important and link very important parts of Lethbridge to each other. So starting off is the 50 University Drive, which provides service to Sunridge and West Highlands to the university or to each other. Route 51 Red Crow, which services West Highlands via Red Crow Blvd, Columbia Boulevard, and onto the university. Line 52 is the Columbia, which services Sunridge via Columbia and onto the university. And then rounding out the west side is line 53 McGill, which services from the ATB Centre through the edge of Copperwood onto McGill and into the university. Okay, over to the north side, we have line 60 Stafford. This is a very important line where it serves all the nooks and crannies of the north side. Based upon this route design, generally there's going to be 30-minute service from 9th Avenue North through to the mall onto the park and ride, and that's bi-directional service. North of 9th Avenue, it will be bi-directional service every 60 minutes. So again, a lot of good coverage in there. 60-minute service north of 9th Avenue and 30-minute service south of 9th Avenue on this route. Line 61, 5th Avenue North, provides service to the Northeast Walmart as well, and operates similar to the 60, where it's 30-minute service from 28th Street North into downtown, and then it's 60-minute bi-directional service through the industrial area and onto the Walmart. Rounding out the south side is the line 62, 13th Street South, which provides service to Lethbridge College via the hospital. Rounding out the CityLINK network and complementing the neighborhood routes are the demand response zones. These are designed to serve in areas where there is not generally a lot of transit demand, but still does provide access to transit service. This slide details the different zones that we have, and just some of the benefits of a demand response zone is it provides customer access to the transit system, and we'll link them into it. Again, this is service in areas where transit lines are not generally available, but will take you up to a transit line, and it connects the customers to both neighborhood and high-frequency lines, so that it plugs you right into the heart of the CityLINK high-frequency service. This offers our customers just availability to more opportunities regardless of where you live. Using demand response is as easy as these 3 steps. The first step is to book a trip through the app. That's normally going to be the easiest way in order to do that. Details of that are going to follow. Step 2 is your trip will be confirmed. And then step 3 is when the pickup window arrives to wait in front of your home or designated location, and the demand response vehicle will come. For those of you that don't have a cell phone, you can also access this service by calling 311. Okay, a little bit more detail on these demand response zones. Zone number 101 operates in West Lethbridge. During the day, Monday to Friday and Saturday, it operates in Country Meadows, Heritage Heights, and those areas on the left. Evenings and Sunday, it operates really through the entirety of West Lethbridge. Also on the west side, during the day from Monday to Saturday, is Zone 102, which will operate in Copperwood, Riverstone, and the Canyons. Over to the south side of the city, this is an all-day zone, so Monday to Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, this zone will operate. Lakewood, Redwood, Fairmont, and Southbrook. And over to the north side of the city, Demand Zone 104 operates evenings, Saturdays, and Sundays to the Shackelford Industrial Park, Black Wolf, and Legacy Ridge. Pulling everything together is our proposal for CityLINK hubs that we are currently working on. These won't be fully built out in September, but we are working on them now. At these key points to facilitate the transfer between demand response and onto the fixed route system. Also, what our long-term goal is to make these really designed for modal transfers and implementing new mobility products such as scooters or bike shares, Uber, Lyft, and all those other types of features. Additionally, these do provide some operational efficiencies where they allow the bus to turn around to reduce unproductive time, and in the future could be a potential charging location as we move towards electric. Okay, so in summary, our proposed CityLINK system will provide the highest level of transit service to the greatest number of people within our approved budget. That was our goal. We believe that we've accomplished that. It will ensure that impact to existing customers is mitigated. Again, we know that people are going to be impacted by the CityLINK system, and we know that this is going to adversely affect some people. What we have striven to do is to reduce that to the greatest extent possible. And then finally, we've created a system that enhances mobility by providing increased options, whether it be demand response or a high-frequency corridor. Virtually everybody in Lethbridge will have access to transit under this system. Just going over some of the impacts, some of the strengths and opportunities, risks and challenges with this system. The first strength that we believe is significantly decreased travel times for the majority of customers and potential customers. Under the CityLINK system, a person can travel from not only downtown to the university very quickly, but also downtown to the hospital, downtown to the Mayor Magrath shopping area, from north to south, from east to west, all over Lethbridge in a very quick and direct manner. The demand response zones improve access to transit. Again, in many areas that did not previously have access, they now do have access via demand response. The rapid 1010 corridor, which we've previously talked about, to really open up and make transit accessible, or make downtown accessible to the university and vice versa. All of our routes are now going to be bi-directional, which means that when you catch the bus in the morning, you just cross the street and catch it in the same place going home in the afternoon, and that gives you a much more direct trip on virtually every trip that you're going to have. We've made these routes much more direct, which means that we are going to have many less large buses on narrow city streets. Most of the streets that we're going to be operating on are streets that are well designed for transit buses. Finally, the final strength is that we've reduced the operational transit costs, and we've provided a level of service that is appropriate with the demand. With that, it isn't all roses. We do recognize that there are some risks and challenges that this system is going to present. The first is, again, it's the impact to our customers. And we know that this is going to require our customers to change their patterns. Again, although we've attempted to mitigate that as much as possible, we recognize that, that there are some people that will be disenfranchised as a result of this. Secondly, we recognize that the distance to the bus stop may increase, and that may be problematic to some people who have mobility challenges. Thankfully, we do have the Access-A-Ride system in order to supplement it, but we like to work with people that are impacted by that as much as possible in order to find a good, viable solution. We really want to hear from them. Thirdly, demand response does not operate on a consistent schedule. I'm not here to say that demand response is a great replacement for a fixed route bus. Fixed route bus has many benefits over demand response, but demand response does provide a level of service to these neighborhoods that they don't have. And also that is much more appropriate for the levels of ridership that are anticipated in these areas. As part of this network, in order to get this fast direct system, we no longer have time transfers. That means if you are required to transfer buses, you may have to wait for a little bit for one bus to come rather than another. We have designed the system in order to minimize that as much as possible and to locate those transfers at locations that are safe and comfortable. But again, there might be a time on select trips. What our goal was to create as many one-seat trips as possible and really negate the need to transfer to the greatest degree possible. The demand response system requires a new app and operational technology. There is going to be potential disruptions with it, as with any new technology process. Stuff is going to surface that we just aren't familiar with and are going to require some patience and understanding as we work our way through those. And then finally, we don't know what we don't know at this point in time. I've listed all the strengths and opportunities, risks and challenges that we've seen, but time will tell. And as we embark upon this system, we're certain that there are some things that are going to pop up. What I can assure you is that myself and the entire Lethbridge Transit team are committed to making this project work and improve transit for the people of Lethbridge. The CityLINK project has a very aggressive timeline in order to meet the mandate of council. As the arrow shows, right now we're at stakeholder engagement in May and June. From this point in time, we will be updating council in July with the results of this engagement. CityLINK is scheduled to launch in September, August of 2021. And then after a number of months, we will update council in March of 2022, at which point in time we anticipate they will decide whether or not to approve the CityLINK project to switch from a pilot project to a permanent project. With that, you've heard me talking enough about CityLINK, and now it's our time to listen to you and give you the opportunity to tell us what you think. We will be soliciting feedback on this project from May 31st to June 18th of 2021. At the conclusion of that, the comments will be compiled and shared with council on July 13th, 2021. We want to hear from you, and there's a number of ways to do it. In addition to the Get Involved website, you can also email us directly or call 311. Thank you again for taking the time to watch this presentation, and we look forward to reading your comments, and we look forward to seeing you on the bus. Thank you.